2, 1.
R&B classics glasses. I love it.
Let's go, Trey.
Are we live?
Are we live like a mug?
In the words of in the words of Ray J, welcome to another Morning Cup. It's Coach Uncut podcast, man. It's your boy Trey Pound, the moisturizer. I already know what time it is, man. Flash a day, keep the doctor away. Over. How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling Gucci like some flip-flops up at Russell Wilson house, bro. That's how I'm feeling, bro. That's how I'm rocking.
I don't know, man.
Like an old cut-off stocking, bro. That's how I'm rocking.
I don't
It's
know,
rocking.
boy.
We making it, bro. What year is this? This 2030? Because it feel like we battling right now.
Hell, I'm hoping the 2030. I thought me and Jackie had to come save you, man. It sounded like they weren't respecting your Black History Month out there, boy.
Hey, man, I told them, bro, I was standing on business.
Yeah, you good?
It's Black History Month every day.
That's right. That's right.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and let the people know we got a special guest with us today. You know, none other than your own Jackie Ray. So if y'all don't know Jackie Ray, you about to find out real quick, man. She they call her Jackie of all trades. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
She can do it all. You know,
That's right.
You may have seen her on KSPN News. You may have seen her on walking the red carpet with your favorite celebrities, you know, and you probably seen her on them streets activating.
In Long Beach, you definitely see me on them streets.
Yeah. Miss Jackie Ray. Tell the world who is Jackie Ray.
What's up, everybody? I am Jackie Ray. I am a journalist here in the LBC. I primarily cover my community, which is the Black community, but I also cover sports. My slogan is I cover people. So really, I just cover whatever I want, whenever it's happening and whenever it's important to me. So that's who I am. I'm excited to be here. There's so much going on that we could talk about, so I'm excited.
I'll tell you what, man. Well, how's it going out in your area? I know, is the fires affecting you at all?
No, I'm in the LBC, so we're in Long Beach. It did affect our air quality a little bit, but we also live next to the port of Long Beach. And I figure if people are going to get in that water, that smoke was not going to hurt us at all because that water is toxic. But that's a story for another day. But no,
toxic.
we did. I think the way it did affect us, though, is there's a lot of nonprofits out here in Long Beach, so they donated a lot of stuff. So we drove all the way out there. It was earlier on, though, when the fires were still burning. So seeing it firsthand and seeing like people's homes just completely burned down. One of the first cars that we came upon that I just wanted to get footage of had a car seat in the back seat. You could kind of barely make it out. It was just super sad to see that. But as a whole, California really came together and we're really, united in that front. It ain't gonna last forever. But right now, we're super united in making sure that people are okay. So it's kind of dope to see that.
I'll tell you what,
I
I was scrolling your socials. Y'all had an event yesterday out there I wanted to ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about that and how that went down?
Yeah, so the event we had yesterday, I covered that. So it's actually on the LB Watchdog right now. So if you guys are in the LBC, it's an organization out here called Long Beach Against Anti-Blackness Coalition. So it started by Anthony Holmes. He is a refuse worker out here. He's worked for the city. They just gave him a promotion, but he initially started his activism because they kept passing him over for promotions. Always people who weren't Black getting those jobs. At one point, there is a person in the water department who is in a position of leadership as a manager, and he's a whole pedophile. And then,
that's
yeah,
just
a whole pedophile.
Golly.
And in the water department?
Yeah, and the water department had him giving tours to kids. And so Anthony really kind of, he was very, very vocal about that. He was vocal about that in a way that almost made me nervous for him because we know how that goes. The louder certain people get, the more dangerous it can be.
Yes.
So as a journalist, I just decided to kind of latch on to him and make sure I could follow his journey and report on his journey as much as needed. He still is in the development stage as far as his leadership goes, but he has definitely got the heart and the passion and the voice for it. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for him. So everybody came out to city council yesterday. They voiced, and then that's the sad part of it, right? Is having so many people. I think there was probably like 25, 30 people there, and almost all of them spoke. Almost all of them had experiences in the city with discrimination. That's kind of sad to hear, like everybody sharing similar stories. And then they all went into city council and then they shared the same thing. And then Anthony shut it down, let the mayor know. He told the mayor what was his exact words? He's like, remember when we had that conversation and I told you that black people in the city weren't really messing with you? And you told me, F them N-words. They didn't put me here. But he didn't say F them. He didn't say N-words.
What's the mayor demographics? What's his demographic?
He's black. Yeah. You was hoping for something else, but that's not what it is.
Like, golly, what? Black History Month, too.
Boy, done let me down.
Well, I mean, but look at Snoop and look at Nelly. So
that's what brought us here, man. We'll do a little little backstory. You know, I got in my Nova bag. You know, that's how me and Jackie Ray connected. I was scrolling through Instagram. You know, then boom, as soon as I opened up the app, DL getting active with it. He had showed the commercial with it was Snoop Dogg and Tom Brady. I was like, golly, boy, them boys, they at it. So I don't know if everybody's seen it, so I figured I'll go ahead and just get in my Nova bag. That's what Nova like to do. He always in the comments. So I just threw a little comment in there, see what happens. And Nova, you want to play the video?
Y'all play the video.
Up? I want to get your thoughts on this, Nova, because I found it really intriguing.
I hate you because people I know hate you. I hate you because I think you hate me. Because I need someone to blame. Because you talk different. Because you act different. Because you're just different.
That didn't even come off as sincere. Let's start there. Like, Tom Brady needs some more acting lessons. That's number one.
So who cloned MAGA Snoop? Hey, since this is Long Beach Finest, I wanted to get your opinion on it. What's your take on the commercial? What you thought about it?
You know, I think the scapegoating was the biggest thing for me outside of everything. You know, Snoop was, he came out and he did a very, I'm not going to address it video. And he goes, stop hating on me. You know, y'all, that's the problem. There's too much hating. And he just, you know, we need more love. Sir, bye. Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and address the situation. So that was first and foremost. Stand on business. If you did this for whatever, you know, if you're the crypto, we know he's big into crypto. Everybody knows that. That's fine. But it doesn't change the fact that this event was promoted as an event to celebrate the inauguration of a racist felon who's now our president. That's just what it is. And then you stand up in there. I don't know what happened to your DJ, but you had to DJ for yourself because your DJ didn't show up. And then you constantly using the N-word in a room full of white people that you know damn well don't like black people. And now you just want to talk about, just love. Boy, bye. No.
Big LBC.
And it's difficult because Snoop means so much to this city. And he means so much to everybody in Long Beach. VIP Records, when I first moved here from Denver, Colorado, I got off the freeway and beelined it to VIP Records because that was the first place I wanted to see. I wanted to see the place where Snoop was on the roof. Like that was the first place that I wanted to see. So he means so much to this city. He does a lot of charity work in this city. He's donated money to this city. And so that's the disconnect for a lot of people. A lot of people are like, well, let's give him a pass because he does this, that, and the third. But I'm like, at the end of the day, you got to judge people by their actions. Let's not forget, as much as we love Snoop and as much as we love his donations, every celebrity is getting a tax write-off for that. So if this is really about money, now you have to start questioning everything else this person does. And I'm always big on judging a person by what they do. There's certain things that I'm just not going to do because it doesn't align with who I am as a person.
Facts.
No, but what you thought when you saw Black MAGA versus White MAGA?
I thought this is most...
So it's Black History Month. Who won? Who wins this one?
You know, it's just... So it's a room full of unseasoned people that don't season their food, that made this, that said, hey, let's do this. We don't need to hear that. That's not gonna get nobody motivated. It was a waste of money, waste of time, waste of seconds watched. Life is what it is. They're telling you what they want. They're telling you what they're gonna do. Now, a matter of fact, they ain't telling you, they're doing what they want to do. So it's gonna be like that for the next 4 years.
Let me add another backdrop to this too, though, because the NFL is removing in racism from the end zone, which I thought was always comical for the NFL to even have that in their end zones, because people forget that the NFL had to be sued to stop saying that black men come out the womb with less intelligence than white men in order to not have to pay them CTE claims. So the NFL has just been leading the way in racism. And so for them to have that so when you have TB12 is what I call him, when you have Tom Brady, people are always going to think about football. And this is coming out the same day, or at least the day after, very close proximity of the NFL saying, nah, I don't remember what they're putting. It's something to the effect of, can't we all just get along? And that's what this commercial gave me. It gave me like, can't we all just get along vibes? We can get along when y'all start acting right.
My
Man,
thing
you talked
is,
about the chitlin circuit earlier, boy. It seemed like they got Snoop on the chitlin circuit.
Mm-hmm.
my
you know?
thing is, what did it accomplish? Like, what was his goal? What did end racism accomplish in the end zone?
Nothing.
Right.
Like, when people put these signs up, it's just like it ain't even a Band-Aid. It's just hey, here's a pizza party. That's
Yeah.
That's what it's equivalent to. It's saying, hey, you have a problem? Hey, give you pizza.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like, also like the people that's behind it, right? You got like Robert Kraft, his foundation is behind it. Then you got Tom Brady, and then on top of that, you already know Super Bowl coming up. Donald Trump going to the Super Bowl, so you know it's gonna be some more antics being played, and you can like they act like we don't see what's going on. They just like they say they playing in our face like we don't know any better, and it's to the point now where it's good to see that we can call bullshit when we see it. You know what I'm saying? Just like, nah, that ain't it.
You really can't call bullshit when you see it because people don't care to believe it. That's the thing, man. Like, we're kind of talking to brick walls with people because if I got to explain to you why something is racist or something is sexist, then I've already lost.
But I think that's, I know people say that a lot. They're playing in our face. I don't think they're playing in our face. I think what they're telling us is, hey, we racist as hell. We're going to continue being racist as hell. We just want y'all to accept it.
You gonna take it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just know your place, and I tell people this all the time, not to get super political, but this move against women's reproductive rights, that has nothing to do with just denying women's reproductive rights. That has everything to do with the white birth rate is down. And they know that in a couple of years, they will be the minority in this country. And so they're moving to try to stop that from happening. That's what that's about. They don't want to try to help you raise those kids, though, but they just want those numbers up.
They don't want you to kill them.
Mm-hmm. It's a numbers game.
It's crazy how like Snoop can just act like he's like oblivious to why we calling him out on it. Like we didn't just see you call people jigaboos and all types of names and threatening to go at other people for doing the same thing you just did, bro. Like,
you know how the game goes in the rich world, man. If enough people don't talk about it and we ignore it and I apologize or I do this, it's all good. They got money to pay stuff to go away. They can drown out your noise. They got enough money. They got these. That's what they got these PA whole firms, agencies to do. Because how is it that a dude can be, what's that one code? I'm drawing a blank right now. But the one dude on CNN can be caught jerking off on camera.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets a job.
What's your algorithm?
No,
He said, what's your algorithm?
That boy porn star.
no, that's real talk.
All
And then you got the other guy. He's on Fox. I can't think of what he did right now, but he did some egregious stuff. But he's on Fox. Like, they had Mark Furman as an analyst on Fox. Like, Mark Furman, bro.
But this is what I'm saying. So everything is intentional. And when you get to a certain tax bracket, you're even more intentional so you can keep those funds rolling in. So at this point, you're either conceding that racists have more money, and so you want to be a part of that group, or you're going to fight against it. It's an either or situation. So what we can glean from this situation is in 2016, Snoop wasn't for sale, but in 2025 he is.
Yeah, got bills to pay.
What was the price?
I'm pretty sure if you they won't disclose that, but they're going to disclose everything else. They want to go in these other agencies and disclose everything else. They want Elon to go into the Treasury and have access to all our information. And I had somebody today tell me, how do you know he got the information? How do he was under the orders, and I have good faith that you have good faith. This dude, first of all, if somebody's operating on good faith, then they go through the process, right? They'll sit in front of Congress, they'll get sanctioned by a sanctioned body because they have to follow a particular set of rules. He did none of that. He didn't get vetted, his background didn't get checked, his crew didn't get checked. He just got all this information sitting on hard drives. God knows who or what he's going to do with it. All because, the president said he can do it. Man, that ain't, dog. No.
Why would you expect a felon to honor protocols? He is a felon, a 12-time felon, convicted.
34.
34? 34, but 12, and how many of them are for, like, sexual assault against a minor? 2 of them he's been charged for. 1 of them, I think, stuck. So this is a man who says he's going to be hard on crime. So where do you start? If you're not going to start with yourself, where you gonna start? People forget that, and that's the thing. That's the message I see here. A lot of people say, I can't wait till he cleans up crime. If you ain't gonna clean it up in your own house, why should I trust you to clean it up in mine?
Yeah, them be the ones. You go to their house, and their house is nasty, but they
That's
want
why
to
I
come
don't
to
eat
your
everybody's
house.
food. I don't do potlucks. If I ain't been to your house, I'm not eating your food.
Everybody got cats.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
got cats on the counter talking about, oh, get
They
down, and
definitely
then
got cats.
nope.
Them be the main one. Man, the Super Bowl coming up, man. I would hate to see doggone Snoop go out there and do a crypto walk, man. Just tap dancing for the people at halftime. That would be. I don't want to see it, man. I can see them rolling that out because you seeing them on all the commercials.
I ain't gonna lie. At first I was on Snoop's side because I didn't know he made that speech, right? I was just like, hey man, let him. I've never heard Snoop come out against it. But then when I seen that he was against it, I was like, yeah, you can't do that, bro.
So if he hadn't made that video in 2016, you would have been cool?
Because, at the end of the day, that's his choice. I can't be mad at him for his choice. I can only know how I'm going to deal with him going forward. You know what I'm saying? I mean, people make their choices. I can't be mad because you made that choice, because you made that conscious decision in your beliefs and your thoughts to go over there. I'm going to still respect you as a human, but I ain't going to deal with you.
What
I
about
ain't
your
gonna-
personal? But if you found out that she voted for Trump, are you cool with that?
Yeah, that's her belief. That's her right. I'm not going to be mad at it. We'll talk and we'll get some understanding, but it ain't going to be detrimental to our relationship. I'm not going to end the relationship because of who you voted for. It's other greater things that I think are, for me, is a bigger test and more so to your character. Voting for Trump, she might be in a different tax bracket, or she might have some beliefs about some certain things that she didn't want to go to this side because of this side. So we're going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it to get to the gist of it.
So this question did come up, and it comes up a lot. And I want to ask you, Jackie Ray, how do you manage friendships, business, and professional relationship when dealing with Black individuals who support Trump?
Oh, it's a no-go for me. It's not even a question. And the reason for that is because, especially in business, personal as well, but I don't have a personal relationship with anyone right now, so I don't have a frame to base that on. Mm-hmm. But business-wise, because I'm an independent contractor, everything I do right now is independent, and so I am in relationship with a lot of different people based on our relationship as people. Mm-hmm. So that's how my business relationships have developed. I really don't have... occasionally I'll get some random person that'll hit me up and say, can you do work, that I have no idea who they are. But for the most part, these are people that I know and that I trust, and we've built a very long-standing relationship. The work that I do specifically is very community focused. So if you have a lack of morality, so much so that you can vote for a convicted felon, if you can't respect me as a woman, which you clearly don't, if you voted for this man who is against reproductive rights, if you don't care what happens to the LGBTQ plus community, if you think that immigrants should be deported just because, if you say all Mexicans, if you use words like all or group people in big groups like that, we are fundamentally different in ways that I can't even trust you with my money. So no, we can't work together. And I have two acquaintances now. Both of them are really good friends. One's an actor. Well, technically they both actors because one actually does film and TV. The other one just acts like he's pro-Black, but he's not, because you can't be pro-Black if you voted for Trump. I'm so sorry, but I cut it off immediately, and I asked them to explain themselves. Neither one. First of all, for people who are in this tax bracket, for you saying it's good for your money, then I understand that you don't understand money, because you have to be in the 1% for anything that Donald Trump is going to do to benefit you. So you don't understand money. And you haven't even taken it upon yourself to get educated about money so you can know that this is detrimental to you. So that's number one. Number two, the one that I've been friends with for 14 years, he's the actor. You calling me, asking me for money. So how can it be helping your tax bracket? You know what I'm saying? So
you need to get Nova policy on that one, boy.
Right. Clearly you ain't in that tax bracket, sir. And then the other one, this is a Black man who, like I said, he pretends to be pro-Black. He has a company that for the majority of the time that he and I have been working together, which we don't work together now, it's been Mexican people that he's worked with. And then for him to formulate his mouth and say, well, I don't like the breaks that Mexican people get in this country and Trump is going to end all that. That's not even what this country was founded on. It doesn't make sense to me. So no, it's not even. Now, those are two people that I was friends with, so I had a conversation about before I ended the friendship. But any acquaintances, it's not even a conversation. You just block.
There you have it.
What say you know? Like I can see like, no, it's just one of them roads where like, and that's what when we had a conversation last time, and this question came up, and I was saying like I can see how it can be a tricky task because you got like some deep, real, like moral, ethical, like if you got a strong stance on something, like it can be a problem. It can be a strain in your marriage, in your relationship, in your friendship, in a lot of ways. And that's why a lot of times where I don't get like, after all this, like feel like we done went through this already with the first term. And it's the same type of temperature, same time. And it seems like everybody just forgot and just act like none of this, like this is all new territory. It seemed like we having a lot of the same conversation, a lot of the same race stuff that just coming up. And it's just like...
I think it's different now. I think
now it's more emboldened, it seems like.
Yeah, because they're leaning into their racism because they have a leader who's racist. I don't care what nobody says. Elon Musk sat up there and did the whole Hail Hitler salute. And we're pretending like we don't know what this is. That's crazy to me. And how you going to sleep next to me? So that's the crazy thing, because if you're going to excuse Donald Trump, you got to excuse everything. You can't pick and choose and say what's bad. So if you're going to excuse Trump, then you got to say, oh, no, Elon said, I give you my heart. You can't sleep next to me and say that. Ain't no way.
You going to sleep with one eye open?
He better sleep with one eye open.
Have you ever dated somebody like that?
Absolutely not. No. I don't date a lot anyway, just because at this point in my life, I feel like if I can't custom order somebody straight from God, I don't know if it's going to work out for me. Normally when I date people, it's a relationship that's developed over time. And this is somebody that I feel very just secure and safe with just in general. No, that's never happened to me.
I don't think I can say I have. I've never been down the red patch either, man. As far as
I'm stealing that.
I'm more my views are more like independent. I don't like to cling to a party. That's how my mind is. Like I'm not with the cult like behavior, and I see it on both sides. And it's just like, yo, how come we just can't like get back to just like human, like what's like humane in this environment?
There's no
what's
profit
going on?
in humanity.
And it's just like the moral and humane like structure or fabric of America just seemed like it's just gone. And that's the sad part.
That's capitalism, though. When you live in a capitalistic society, it's not about your fellow man. It's about that next dollar. And it's about what I need to do to get that next dollar. It's not about you. It's not about lifting you up and making sure you're okay. It's about the dollar. So this is what you get.
I think just dealing with being well versed and like been to a lot of different countries and dealing with a lot of people. I just learned to like set boundaries when it comes to like a lot of stuff, like when it comes to politics, religion, like stuff that I, know that, all right, man, this person can't have a conversation about X, Y, Z because I can just see where it goes. So I just keep them in that realm of what we can and cannot discuss. And then when it comes to like real intimate, like stuff about me, I just keep that to like certain people.
That's smart.
So what are your final thoughts on sleeping with the Klanman?
Just say no.
What say you know?
What? I know you
don't bought the Bible. I bought my dog. He got the watch. You know what I'm saying? He about to take it all back though. I see he about to take it all back real quick.
Nah, I just respect people's difference of opinions and stuff like that. I like to talk to people. I like to understand why you are the way you are. If you're a racist, why are you racist? I sit down and talk to them. Don't mean that I'm gonna further anything in life with them. You know what I'm saying? But if my significant other did vote for them, I don't think it's detrimental to our relationship. I'm not going to let your vote kill what we built. You know
what's going to kill it is that talk up before the vote, like all them talks.
I'm not going to let politics. No, I just don't believe in politics ruining what I have in this home. So we'll talk about it, and how do we come to an understanding and respect? You know what I'm saying? I can't force my opinion and my way of life on you, nor should you do the same on me. You know what I'm saying? But if it's some no-goes, then that's your no-goes. You just got to respect it. But I feel like if we got a strong foundation and a strong basis, the last thing I'm going to do is let some people that are so irrelevant to my life. I'd rather Like now, local politics, we might have an issue because those affect us. Like,
But it can become a
far
problem,
as-
right? Like before, like when you guys like started your bond and your relationship, y'all established your no-goes, right? And then you know how time happens, and then boom, people change. And now, like your no-go, that's a go for the other person.
like what? What's something? Give me an example.
Well, that's a strong no-go.
Yeah, because sometimes
Racism.
like
Isn't that a strong no-go?
sometimes I feel like how can I say it? It's a la carte. It's like what?
We over here waiting for you to say it. I'm just kidding.
No, it's things like a la carte with people. You know what I'm saying? You got homeboys that do something that you don't support, but there's other good qualities about that person. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, let's go. Let me stop you right there. So you have a homeboy that's your ace. Y'all been friends forever. You can rely on him. You find out he's beating the hell out of his girl. Is that a deal breaker for you?
yeah, that's a deal breaker.
Because of the morality stance, right?
Yeah, that's something I stand on. I don't beat on women, but I still probably deal with him if he goes and get help. If he's receptive to the help and he's remorseful for it, then I'm still mess with him. I got homeboys that kill people. I got family members that kill people. I got people that sold drugs that did jail behind drugs. I got criminals in my family. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. It's not a zero defect. It's not end all be all. They paid their price. They gave back their price. They went, got help, remorseful for it, and they're not continuing to do that. You know what I'm saying?
So everything is about contrition then, right? So, and repenting and turning and being different. But if you're in a relationship with somebody who says, I believe in denying women their reproductive rights. I believe in LGBTQ plus hate. I don't believe in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I don't believe in including other races. And I understand that the merit system in this country has been used as a tool for racism, but I'm co-signing on all that, and I'm going to look you dead in the eye and tell you I still want you to love me. That's not a deal breaker.
For me, not all the way.
That is the most fascinating thing I've heard this week because isn't that the fundamental things that make somebody human?
What?
Is their ability to relate on a human level.
Yeah.
And if a person believes in all of these things, then you need to know that there's a level of humanity that they simply don't have.
I mean, we agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do. We do. I tell you what, how do you decide which stories to cover when it comes to what's popping and what's like important to you? Like, how do you make that decision? All right.
It depends. Whatever speaks to me. Like especially here in Long Beach, my number is circulating a lot in the community. So I'll get calls from random people. They'll say, this is a story, this is a story, this is a story. And all of those things are definitely stories to that individual. But it's also comes down to my bandwidth, how much time I have to cover the story. Is it going to be something quick? If it's a story that requires a lot of research, which when you're talking about stuff that impacts the Black community or a specific community, typically those things do take a little bit more research. Then I have to gauge what else do I have on my plate? What else is here right now? Because I'm still one person. It's not that I can just cover every single thing that comes across my plate. I just simply don't have the time. But I do have a very large, I don't want to say large, but I do have a very trusted group of friends that are also journalists. So if I can pass the story along that I feel that needs to be covered, I'll pass it along. Sports, I just cover whatever's coming my way. Like if there's, especially during the WNBA season, that's my favorite time of year. I love everything that's happening in this free agency right now. It is madness. So with that, I typically cover whatever comes my way. Sometimes it's tough in these arenas where if you're not ESPN or if you're not Bleacher Report or Clutch Points, they don't want to give you the top athlete. So I've just been kind of known as the journalist, like, who you got? Like, I know everybody on your team. You're not going to throw anybody my way that I don't know anything about. And then I've turned those interviews into, like, good pieces. So it just really depends on where I'm at in that moment. WNBA season and covering news at the same time. Ironically, there's always an overlap of something because the women in the WNBA are such socially conscious women and they care about society and they start these different types of movements. So sometimes it's just this really beautiful relationship where I'll do an interview with an athlete and they'll give me an idea and I'll be like, oh, dang, I should see if that's happening in my community. So I'm really proud of the women in the W, if you can't tell. I think that they are amazing individuals on and off the court. And when that season rolls around for me, it's the best time of year because I get to do news in my community and then I get to run and cover a game. It's the best time of year for me.
See, how you feel about that doggone, the beef that they kind of like to stir up with the WNBA, with Caitlyn and Reese and them?
So that's needed. Rivalries are needed when you're talking about building any type of league. The way that this rivalry was built, though, especially at the time that it was built, and you're building it off of, racism and homophobia, it wasn't good. Now, it could have been good, but Reese I don't want to say she played into it, but she didn't play out of it either. She didn't really say much. And I'm, as like a lot of people, I believe that silence equals complicit. So it's just a difficult thing. And so, of course, when she gets to the end of the season, though, she did say, racism is wrong. These Black women have built this league, things of that nature. But for most of us, it was too much, too little, too late. Like, why do you wait till you're booted out the playoffs to say anything about this? Like, you had a whole season. So, these kinds of things, the rivalry that they tried to build up between the two women, it's never worked. They tried to build up Sabrina Ionescu that way. The only one that I think has successfully kind of been put on a platform and it's lasted is Asia Wilson.
That's
so
my dog,
it just, yeah. And she deserves it through and through. She's an amazing individual. She is the true definition of a dog on the court. She deserves all of the accolades that she's getting. But the league's kind of refusal to make her the face of the league just tells you everything you need to know about who's running the WNBA, because they try to put that onto Caitlin Clark, who hasn't earned a single WNBA accolade yet. So it's just one of those things where you just kind of got to understand the beast that you're up against.
Who's your favorite WNBA player?
Of all time or right now?
Right now, right.
Asia Wilson.
Of all time.
Candace Parker.
Oh, yeah.
Candace the GOAT Parker.
That's my daughter's favorite. That's
Oh,
her.
yeah, you spoke on her and your love for the Sparks.
Yeah.
You're not feeling the Sparks now? You're not feeling the Sparks?
I mean, I've always loved the Sparks. So the Sparks, Lisa Leslie and all that, those are the ones that I grew up watching. So I've always loved the Sparks. The Sparks are just a dysfunctional franchise, though. I've been covering them long enough to know that some of the issues that manifest on the court are because of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Even if we don't, as reporters, know about it, you just get that sixth sense when you walk in like, oh, this ain't right.
Do you think Cameron going to save him? You think she can save him?
I think Kelsey Plum, in addition to Cameron, will save them.
Yeah, Kelsey, she nice.
Because Kelsey's a dog, too. And so I think Kelsey brings that championship pedigree that you need. She brings that leadership that you need. You pair her alongside De'Erica Hamby, who De'Erica Hamby has this very much motherly spirit, but she can be a dog at the same time. Kelsey's just a dog. I think those two together, along with Rakia, her star is going to be so bright this season. I'm just betting all my money on Rakia right now. So I think that them together, but I think if De'Erica wasn't here, if Kelsey wasn't here, would I think that the Sparks would be okay with just Cameron Brink and Rakia? No, I wouldn't think that.
I'll tell you what, man, DEI, that's been a hot topic. We done brought it up on this conversation a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you with Jamil Hill, and it's a.
Dang, you went through my page.
Yeah, I did my research a little bit. I saw you with Jamil. She talking about a woman who faced a lot of scrutiny.
Yes.
What challenges have you faced as a Black woman in media, and how have you navigated them?
I think, Jamil Hill, the reason why I was so excited to do that interview is because she's been someone I've looked up to. I very much see a lot of myself, aspiring to be what she is. And I've seen some of the similar things. I'm unapologetically Black. I lead with Black. I don't hide that in any way. That is a challenge for a lot of people, because it's not so much my work ethic. People love my work ethic, to the point where they're like, just tell Jackie to do it, because they know if they tell me it's going to get done. But I think that just understanding that at the same token, if you get it wrong, especially with my community, I'm going to tell you about it. And I'm going to tell you, you need to fix it. And there's a lack of accountability in all industries. But when you're talking about in journalism, that lack of accountability can be detrimental to an entire community, because journalists, we lead the narrative. And so I think sometimes me being vocal has been, let me not say sometimes, most times me being vocal has been to my detriment. But I also think all of that just led me to understand that building my own platform is just going to be necessary for me.
I can relate to that. That was something that I battled with. And actually, I talked to the chaplain today about about that, like how to navigate that. You know, and you get to the point where like, damn, like why I always got to be the one to say something, or like, and then when you put yourself out on that limb, like, damn, nobody else gonna like, y'all know this shit wrong, but nobody else gonna, you know what I'm saying? Or you gotta hit me up on the side, like, hey, bro, like I'm with you, like nigga, you ain't say nothing though, like, you know what I'm saying? And
what's the example? What's the example of something?
It's tough, right? I know, but you probably done dealt with that on a bunch of occasions. And
I stand on
wanted an
business.
example.
No, I stand on business when I walk in the room. It's just like I call the BS to BS, and I hold you accountable to it. And that's for everybody. It goes both ways. Whether the black person is wrong or the white person is wrong, I'm holding both accountable. I'm gonna call the BS to BS, and that's how we're gonna do it. Because I've been told I'm too comfortable in my skin. I'm sorry. I'm who I am. I'm not gonna apologize for who I am, but you're gonna know where I stand. I call it as soon as I see it. I don't play those games, and we keep it moving.
And is it received well all the time?
Yeah, it's received well. Some it's not, and then that person's dealt with accordingly. You know what I'm saying? I'm like this. If I'm only gonna be where I'm welcome and I'm truly wanted. And it's the same thing with my dollar. I ain't gotta. I'm not the type of person that's just gonna make a lot of noise. I'll show you. I'll show you how powerful I am. You know what I'm saying? If that store doesn't serve black people, we ain't gonna go there. I'm gonna do everything in my power, and you might not even know it's me, but I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that you're not operational. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel that. I think it's harder to kind of just move in silence like that as a journalist because, again, my silence means that there's a community that's not getting covered, or there's an issue that's not being covered, or there's somebody who, one of my favorite examples of that is not even, a black community situation. I was literally in Dallas on vacation, and the outlet that I was working for at the time, the Long Beach Post, they put out this story about this young Mexican man who was killed on Father's Day. And it was just, the headline just was so tragic to me. And then as I'm reading the story, I just felt my blood pressure rising because the story, although it did tell the story about what happened and, him being the father and all the fatherly things, the undertones of that story was this happened to him because 10 years ago he was a gangbanger. And that infuriated me because this man had worked really hard, to your point earlier, to rectify his life, be a good person in his son's life. He had he moved away to start a business so he could be a good father and get away from that life. None of that was mentioned in that story. It was just about, this kind of happened. And I'm on vacation. And I called my editor. I said, if you don't take this down and do a do-over. And it was a fight. It was a 3-hour fight because they didn't see it from my perspective. And then I said, then you need to call his sister, because his sister had come to my Instagram and had said, did you see this? And I'm like, girl, I'm already on the phone. I'll get back with you. And I says, you need to call his sister and explain to her why she feels bad for even doing an interview with us, because she feels like she gave you the ammunition to portray her brother as a criminal who deserved to die. And then that editor called me back in tears. He's like, oh my God, I can't unsee it now. But at the moment, he was so upset with me that I could feel that I was probably going to come back to Long Beach and not have a job. But I told him, I said, I will die on this hill, because it's not about me. It's about what's right, because journalists, we have a responsibility on how we shape society. Our words matter, and we have to take that seriously. It worked out, but it was a fight. And it was a fight not even for someone in my communities. I'm always going to fight for the truth and what's right and what's ethical.
That's respectful. I believe in that philosophy. Like what you did at the end worked, and kind of what I show you no. I show you yes. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going to just show you. I'm going to show you the results. I'm going to show you why you should take it down. It's not going to come from me, how you got the sister to get it, and they finally wrong true to the person. You know what I'm saying? So
I get you. That's not how it works in journalism, though. You can't just show somebody there, because once that word is out, once that narrative is out, then it's just out. So you can't just be like, oh, I'm going to go out in the community and show the community, or I'm just going to go out and I'm just going to show these people, hey, this is not right. You can't do that, because now you're doing this in a nucleus, but the written word spreads like wildfire. You can't do it like that.
No. I'm saying how you grab the person that it affected the most and that it was about, and you said, look this person in the face and tell them that. Read this story to this person and tell me how you feel when you read this story to this person that you're talking about, because this is the representation of this person that you're talking about. So face the fire.
Right.
Face this person and tell them. Because it's easy when we sit down and we don't face the people that we're talking about. We can say anything and everything. But no,
Most
sit in
people
the
do.
room and tell this person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I am. But like I love how you grabbed her and you said, tell her that.
Mm-hmm.
And his whole vibe, his whole everything changed. And a lot of people need that reality check, because he's just writing words on a paper and he doesn't see the community because he's not in the community.
Right.
He could just turn his notifications off and go about his day. You know,
That's
a lot
all
of
of
people,
it. Yeah, that's why it's important for people who are in the community to be journalists telling the stories of their community. Because when it's people outside of their community, that's why people ask me all the time if I'll cover the LGBTQ community, and I'll do my best to refer them to a reporter. I'm not in the community, and you don't want to risk getting something wrong. I know there's probably vernacular that I don't know, people that are very important to that community that I don't know and that I probably should talk to about certain. I don't know any of that. And it's because I'm not in that community. And so I have no problem passing off stories and be like, nope, but I got somebody for you.
Nova can tap you in. He got the people that I know. He tapped in with the people.
I'm not
He got his people.
I know
with him.
people. I know people though. I got
you tapped
some
in.
good,
I know.
I got some homies and stuff.
That's what's
Some
important.
homegirls.
That
It's funny,
network.
I
like-
love everybody, bro.
Yeah, that network is important. You need that network.
Trey the one that stand off,
yeah.
man.
Oh, yeah. No, this is a beautiful
Flick of the
conversation.
bean.
It kind of reminded me, like, when I was telling y'all, it's funny, like, the chaplain just came in to my job out of nowhere. Like, he can tell, like, because in my organization, it ain't a lot of black people, and, like, he knew what time it was when it comes to me when dealing with a lot of these issues. So, he just popped up, and then in that conversation, I was like, I don't know, like, what he heard and why he popped up, but I was just like, yo, chaplain, just, like, why? Like, when I talked to God, and God told me, like, what's the use of having a voice if you're not going to use it, And that's why I feel obligated to say something when I see something that's wrong. And a lot of times when we do that as minority, it comes off as the angry black man or the angry black woman. Have you ever experienced anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I got a couple years ago, I just embraced the angry black woman. If that's what you want me to be, I will be the villain in your story. And I just had no problem with doing that. But I know that my voice is powerful, and I just refuse to be silent because of that. And I think the problem is, we talk about accountability in government a lot, but there's a lack of accountability just in society in general. People just want to, do what there's a guy I follow on Instagram and TikTok. His name is Tizzy, and he's the one that's like, y'all help me find this person. And when every time it's usually a racist or somebody homophobic doing something crazy, and then every time they're found and they're either fired or people start boycotting their business, it's all woe is me, woe is me. And it's because people have a lack of self-accountability. There's some things that I deeply want to say to people, but I have a level of accountability. And I know, okay, that's just malice. That's just me. That's not going to help the situation. So even if you do have a level of racism or hate in your heart, what's the good in saying that out loud? What's the point in that? I just don't understand it.
They gotta let the world know. They gotta get them likes up.
Go
You gotta
home
get
and
them
talk to
likes
your
up.
racist significant other, and y'all can just put on them hooded cloaks and just have a time. You don't have to be like that outside.
They put other uniforms on now. They don't put the hooded cloaks on. They put
What they put on
suits.
now? The
They put
police
suits on
uniforms.
and they go to political offices.
Mhm.
They every day they so well integrated in life now. You don't even know, man.
Well, speaking of like disconnects, I don't know if you guys saw that viral post that had went out that had like what was it? It was like the battle of the YNs versus the unks. It had like the 13 to 24s considered a YN, and 25 to 35 big bro, 36 to 48 unk, 49 to 60 they old heads, man. And it just made me think about like a lot of aspects as far as like, is there like a gap or disconnect with like generations in the black community? What do you guys think?
What's the saying? Tough time make strong man. And strong man make easy times, and easy time make weak man. That's where we at. That's where we at. Our people before us, they had it rough, right? My parents came up during the Jim Crow era, right? So they had it very rough, and they made it easy for us. And then we're making it easier for our kids and stuff. Because the first thing we say, we want life to be better for.
But where do you
those
think
that
the
come after us.
disconnect is at, though?
It's because it's
Well-
easy. It's easy. Like, I don't have to go through what you did. So what are you gonna tell me? What's there to talk about? You know what I'm saying? Like the world, the knowledge that you have, I don't see that like that. I don't see it on the level that you dealt with. So it's really, you're just complaining to me, right? But time and experience is the best teacher sometimes. You gotta let people hit their head. They can only tell you so much. So we're in the easy time right now. So what is there to complain about? It's like, let's get money. That's what let's get money.
What is the disconnect on the other side? I just hear the disconnect on one side. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think.
Like what side? From the elders from the older, they're trying to tell us. We don't want to listen to them. We shut them down. What you gonna tell me? I'm the type of person, I sit around, I grew up around old people. So I listen to their knowledge. I listen to what they got to say. If they tell me don't go down that street, understood. Sometimes they might explain why, but most of the time I'm not explaining why because I respect your knowledge and your game, so I understand. With this generation, I think the disconnect is they want to know the why and we get offended. And sometimes we got to understand that we need to explain the why to them because they need that, because they grew up in a society where I'm free. Why can't I go down this road? And sometimes we just go, man, you need to shut up and listen to me. But sometimes we need to take that time and explain to them why you can't go down that road. And maybe they listen, maybe they don't.
I think it depends on, obviously, where you are in society. I think that that's a great narrative for a lot of people. I grew up in a predominantly white neighborhood. There's 550 people in my graduating class. 10 of us were Black. So to your point, yes, the narrative from my parents and even my grandmother was, hey, man, we were chased out of the South by the Klan. That's how we ended up in Colorado. Like, just keep your head down, work hard, and move forward. So that created a disconnect for me because that whole keeping my head down thing, I was like, I'm not doing that. And so, like, when I talk to young people now, especially here in Long Beach, and obviously Long Beach is Long Beach. It's a very unique city. But that's the disconnect for them. Like, the disconnect for them is, you guys are telling us just stay the course and work hard. That didn't work for you because y'all are still in the same struggle. You know what I mean? So why should we do that? Tell us what you did wrong? And I think a lot of times, like even when I'm talking to elders, the consensus is, hey, you got to figure out how to work within the system. You got to figure out how to, keep your head down and get a seat at the table. I think people in my thought process, which probably aligns a little bit with the younger thought process, is, no, I don't want you to sit at your damn table. I want to build my own table. And I want you to help me you can help me build it. Tell me the things that you did wrong so I don't do those wrong so I can build a successful table. But I think that that's the disconnect. I think that the younger generation is just mad because they don't feel like, at least the ones that I've talked to, they don't feel like they should have to be going through this stuff. They don't feel like they should have to be experiencing the level of discrimination that their parents did or their grandparents did because we should have done our due diligence. And I think that there's a level of truth to that. But I think racism is a tough nugget to crack. So I think it depends on who you're talking to and what they were doing. A lot of my family, they fought really hard against racism. And by the time because I was the late baby. And by the time I came around, they were just tired. They didn't want to have those conversations with me anymore. Like, we retired. We over here on a boat. Yeah. We don't want to have that conversation with you right now.
I can't even say that I had it tougher than what my parents had. Mm-hmm. They went through some stuff. Like, just listening to my pops tell stories, like, man, he couldn't even go into certain places. Mm-hmm. Like, I take him, like, when I go home, we go on different sides of the town, and he just like, man, I remember I couldn't even come over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't even let me over here. You know what I'm saying? I've got so many fights because this and that. So it's
I think there got to be some level of like common ground. Like, I don't like how like we can't just talk to one another without it being an attack or against like how you grew up and how I got it. Like, why can't we just like, all right, we in this together, like you said, and you said you like, in our days, like I grew up like talking to my elders with respect, like I want to, hey, give me the game.
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
Right. Like, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. It was just like different type of
Right,
manners.
they don't
And
do
like how
that.
we move was just like, it was just different. Now it's just like, it's just a lack of respect. And I only see it with our culture.
Oh,
And
it's
I
not
think,
just our culture. I think there's just a lack of respect across the board, but I think we feel it more in our culture because, like I tell people all the time, that's not technically our culture. We are a communal people. Historically speaking, we love the stories of our elders. That's stories of our elders, and we have this old family Bible that was definitely came from slavery, where people were just writing down stuff because that's how you kept history. And having elders, tell those stories, that's something that's been historically part of our culture. I have no idea how we got away from that, and how like the disrespect, like you said. I'm still, I was in a store the other day and I go, oh, excuse me, ma'am. It was an older lady. She goes, oh my God, people just don't say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. And I'm looking at her like, well, who was this kid? But
it's common.
it
You
is a
don't see it.
disconnect. And I don't know if it's because of the dawn of social media. I don't know if it's because Black people, we just, we don't have a lot of historically Black communities anymore. We have communities where a lot of Black people are, but, even here in California, Altadena, the city that burned down, that was the last of our historically Black communities. And so maybe that's part of it, is we just aren't around each other enough to
Go down
really...
south. Y'all got to go down south, man.
Well, yeah,
It's
the
different,
South is
man.
different. The South
Man,
is
it's different. That's every neighborhood across the tracks is all Black.
I was talking
But
to my
where
wife.
my whole
where
life.
do you guys live?
I'm from Louisiana. I live in
Okay.
LA now.
Okay, what part?
I live, outside of Ventura. Most people don't know.
He live in,
Is
know what
Ventura,
I'm saying, Beverly?
doesn't Ventura have its own county, or is that still
Yeah,
LA
it's
County?
Ventura County.
It's Ventura County, right? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So you far away from the land, far away.
Yeah, gated community, you know what I'm saying? He got about, 3 maids and 2 butlers
Oh.
out there. That boy he living righteous. But I was talking to my pop earlier about like some of the same conversation that we're having. And he said, man, I don't know why, like this word just stuck in my head that we got to decolonize ourselves.
That part.
A lot of these behaviors is not like it's not Black behaviors, and we just got to decolonize. And
How
I
do we
agree
even
with
do
him.
that at this point, though?
I think we
Control
got
the
to
narrative that's put out there, because we let them force feed. I take music for example. How is it that we're the songstress, the singers, the musicians, the rappers, the entertainers, but we don't own what we put out? Like, straight up.
And even when we do put it out, it's typically
So-
negative for our community.
It's not even us just put out. It's the white people that own it are putting it out.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling us what is acceptable, and that's not how it should be.
I think some of that
Yeah.
might come down to support, though, too. Just from when I was doing music and even to now, like, I'm an independent journalist. I'm the only Black journalist in Long Beach, and the majority of money that I get is from white people who see the work that I'm doing and they want to support. So back to Snoop, to bring it full circle, if that's where the money is coming from, now I just don't have that level of compromise in me. But if I did, and I understand where the money is coming from, at what point do I say, well, shoot, I got to eat? And I don't want to just eat. I want to eat good. I want to eat over there with Nova in a gated community with butlers. I want, like, that's what I want for my life.
We
So
got
at
a
what
robot
point
chef.
right?
What?
Like, shoot, come. Hello, Miss Jackie. Can I help you today? Yes, you can. You sure can. I want that. So at what point, I think it's a level of, are you going to stay true to yourself, or are you going to stay true to the money that's going to get you to a life that you want? And can you do both at the same time? I think that's the tough question.
I just hate that how the music industry is owned by one set of people, and we're the people that make the music, and we don't own nothing from it. And then you constantly see these guys get into these bad record deals and they complain. And I'm just like, bro, it's ours.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me, like, we really don't need the music industry, but we're so conditioned to believe that whatever they tell us is hot is hot.
There was a time when streaming first started, I was like, oh, this is going to kill. All the Black artists are going to get this. They're going to start, building their own platforms. And I think they did for a little bit. But now it's like, you can't even do that, because it's like, what did I hear Snoop say? He streamed like 1 billion. I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating, but it was something like 1 billion songs he said he streamed, and he got $40,000.
Good gracious.
It's like, damn.
That's why that boy with that twerking at the crypto ball, man. He's like, well, I gotta figure out a way to doggone
Yeah.
get these
But
ends to
like,
me.
I just wish a challenge would be to musicians to say, stop going to the record labels, stop going to these mediums to put your music out, and just go back to the trunk.
I think
Yeah,
just like
Master P it.
collectively, like
Just go
dealing
back
with
to
this-
the trunks. Just go back to the trunks. Go back to the chitlin circuit
nobody going to your
and do
trunk,
your
man.
thing.
Like,
And just do your
I
thing.
don't trust
But
what's
is
in
that
your
on the
trunk.
artist, or is that on us to say we're going to support our Black independent
that's
artists?
But that's where the artists say, look, only way you're gonna hear my music is if you pull up to the supermarket and you get my tape, or you pull up.
Where they gonna put
and
the
because
tape
that's
at,
how
Nova?
it was.
Like,
That's how it
Nova,
was back.
where the hell
Bro,
you gonna
speaking
throw?
for-
You gonna make these
Bro, you
throwback
interrupted
cars?
my
Nigga,
thought,
they
bro.
already
I
about to shut down the auto industry. Now you gonna come out with tapes. Where the hell we put this tape
Somebody
at? Nova?
did give me a CD the other day. I was one. They's like, "Oh, can you listen to?" And I looked at it and I go, "Where am I going to play this?"
But yeah,
Oh.
But that is a good. Like, how do you get back to that though? Like, if you saying you got to get it back, like they own the
Just
streaming
pull-
services.
just pull it off of there. Just pull it off of there. Open. You know what I'm saying?
There's got to
Share-
be a way to like create a website and just stream your music
you
on
can
your
create
own
a website.
platform,
You can
right?
get server space. It's
Yeah.
hell. It costs. You can do it.
Yeah,
You can build
Jay-Z
it.
did it. That's when we had Tidal, and then bam.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
That wasn't even black. He was just
he was just a face.
a face owner. It was a face owner. If you dig through the records, he was a face owner.
I
Be
get what
careful.
you're saying, though. I think you're absolutely right. Somebody would have to be the first to break that mold, though.
Because how do we support each other back then? It was the same way. We heard about it, we listened to it, and they came through the little local juke spots and everything. And that's where we pulled up. We passed tapes to each other.
It was
Hey,
easy
man,
to
I
make
listened
mixtapes
to
back then. though.
I listened to this tape, bro. Here, check this artist out. You know, you got a cousin coming from California visiting you, and they bringing music, and it's like a culture exchange. You know what I'm
Plus,
saying?
the DJs was responsible for
Yeah.
a lot of that too. Playing.
Nova was a DJ. He ain't no DJ no more.
So
Maybe we need to bring back DJ Nova.
Nah,
just-
nah. The street said
But
we
that's
gotta
how
take
it is.
DJ off your
That-
name, bro.
that's how it is, though, man. That's what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? Like the hard work, like, bro, it's a whole beautiful network. When it used to, you could pull up and people used to give you their sound, and then it was just it felt so good to say, hey, bro, you heard this person, you put it in the hands of somebody that's making now I can get this person's voice all the way out there. You know what I'm saying? Like where I grew up, we had things called screw tapes.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Screw put that single on there, bro, like we looking for that artist. You know what I'm saying? Like
Do we maybe need to do like more venues that have just like independent artists perform?
Yeah.
Maybe.
They do that though. It depends
but
on where you at.
Yeah, I mean, when I in Colorado, to your point, Nova, that was my favorite thing to do. Yeah, you had the big venues where the major artists would come, but my favorite thing was just there was a bar that was down the street from me in college. It maybe held like 30, 40 people. It was a tiny, tiny little bar, but we would get these up and coming artists, and like it would be packed to the point where artists had to maybe do 3 or 4 shows, and it wasn't necessarily because you knew that artist. But if they happened to be good, you didn't want to be the person that didn't see them perform live. So everybody
I know, right?
just
And
went
you
down
had a
there.
connection to them. You had a
Mhm.
connection to them, and then it felt you and your music was intimate and it was thoughtful. But
Mhm.
once you get into that big machine, it's no longer your music. They tell
Think
you, I don't want to hear that from
thinking
you.
about this. Think about this. We talked about generations, right? Like, remember growing up, like music was a big part of like everything,
Yeah.
right? How often is that happening now? Like, you wake up on Sunday morning, you got music playing, like,
Because
or
it's
you get in the
controlled
car.
music. That shit.
Everybody, you get in the car now, everybody got their own headphones on. Like, it's not like a thing that like brings people together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, my mom in the on Saturday mornings, there was things you knew. You knew if she was playing Michael Jackson, it was going to be a fun day. If she was playing Al Green, get your behind up and start cleaning. So there was songs that had themes, and I do miss that. I miss having songs kind of set the soundtrack of your life. Different things mean different. All the music now kind of, there's certain artists that I love, but for the most part, like if you throw on a beat and throw on a couple booty lyrics, and then it's all the same after that.
speaking of beats and booty, man, Beyonce, she just did
Not beat and booty.
no beats and booty. They get the people going, man. Beyonce just, she's about to do the tour announcement. What y'all thinking? How y'all feel about it? You going?
Oh, I'm going.
What?
I'm definitely going.
You going? You
I
going
didn't
to
go to
listen
her-
to the gentrified, the the niggas country.
Listen, let me tell you something. I didn't go to her last tour just because the affordable seats was too far away. And I'm like, if I got to sit far away, I'm just not going to go. I have a feeling, obviously we won't know. When do ticket sales go on? When they go on sale? I don't even know. But I have a feeling the affordable tickets are going to be a little bit more widespread this time just because of the state of the country. But let me tell you something. I love me some Beyonce, okay? I love Beyonce. And I think what really made me fall in love with her, I've always loved her, even since she was with Destiny's Child. I got to meet her when she was with Destiny's Child. She came to Colorado, and she was just normal. She was just normal and nice. And that is I tell people this all the time. You could set a lasting, Nova was kind of mentioning that too. You set a lasting memory with somebody, they are a fan for life. And she was just so cool. And I think I was awfully clumsy back then. I think I fell and literally bit it really hard. She's like, oh my God, are you okay? And she was so nice. I was like, oh my God, I didn't fail. But she was just so nice, talked to me for a little bit, made sure I was good, and my friends was there before she walked away. That's something that I'll never forget. So I'm always going to be a Beyonce fan. But on top of that, the other thing that I'll never forget about her is how she quietly bailed out people during the Black Lives Matter movement. And she was just quietly bailing people out. That's Jackie Ray energy right there. That speaks to my spirit. But she's also, you talk about the gentrified country. She's from Houston. So she country, just she's from Houston. So I love when she won that Grammy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm going for sure now. I'm about to go act a fool and celebrate this Grammy with her. I love Beyonce. I know the other thing that makes her really cool to me, the Lemonade album was off the hook. If you haven't listened to that.
Oh yeah, that was one. If you didn't listen to that, I don't know what you
that album, and to hear her pain in that album because Jay-Z was cheating on her. But to hear her pain in that album.
How you going to tell the black man down like that?
I ain't saying nothing. I'm just telling the truth. But for her to put herself in that position, and not only just lyrically, but if you listen to her vocally, her vocals weren't perfect because sometimes she was cracking here or there, but you could hear the emotion. And for her to let that ride, that just gave me a new level of respect for her. So when I tell y'all ain't never going to be able to tell me nothing about Beyonce, I mean, y'all ain't never going to be able to tell me nothing about Beyonce.
That's what my coworker said today. I've never been to a Beyonce concert, and she's like a huge fan, like yourself. She was like, well, I'm going. I don't care. I'm gonna find a way to get there. And I was like, and she's like, well, them tickets, like, depends on how them tickets cost. Them tickets might be high. I was just thinking, like, is it a good time right now? Like the way niggas can barely buy eggs.
Right. I'm gonna try to get a freelance job and have some magazine pay me to write about the concert. I'm already sending out feelers about that. Don't you need an entertainment person?
Is that your GOAT artist? Like, who's the most?
That's a good question.
As
No, she is not my GOAT artist. She's definitely one of my favorite current artists, but Prince is the GOAT to me.
Okay, I can see that. I can see the liberation. Yeah, standing on business.
Yeah.
It's a good question, though. Who's your GOAT artist?
Mine, I would probably say
Pimp C.
Black Thought, man. I like Black.
Okay, I like both of these answers.
Black Thought, man. That's my dude.
Okay, let's take it one step further. This is one of my favorite questions that I like to ask people. When you're really upset and you kind of just need to detox and calm down, who's the artist and song that you play?
I'd probably go with some male waiters. Probably listen to Southern Soul.
Okay.
Yeah, Johnny Taylor, some stuff like that.
I like
some
that.
Southern Soul, I go with Southern Soul.
So you go with more calming.
Yeah, like if I'm like in the, it's going to be some like Pimp C, Juvenile,
Okay.
Webby, Boosie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't even know. That's a good one. How about you? And then I figured
You
out.
going to listen to 6ix9ine.
No. Oh, see, that's not even
Future.
No, she said de-stress and calm down. You saying gym music right now. Like, right now, if I was to go to the gym, I'd probably throw that Little Baby or that Kendrick on. Then let them two go ahead and do their thing. But as far as de-stressing and calm down, I got like a jazz playlist I go to. It's like a fruitful jazz playlist. Every time I'm trying to study, just chill, get my mind in a good space. It's no words, just like jazz music, just doing this thing. That's my de-stress playlist. As far as like singing, I would have to say like some type of like gospel. That's the first thing I go through in the morning when I wake up. I put on like I pray, meditate, and then I throw on like a gospel flow playlist, and then just go from there.
Yeah, if I need to distress and calm down and like really, I guess it depends on the level of stress. Like if it's good stress, I know people say, what's good stress? But if it's like, okay, there's just a lot on me right now and I'm frustrated, then I'll play X-Clan, Aragon. That's like my favorite song in the world. And then
My cousin was in X-Clan.
shut up.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Not the
I'm
Ku
dead
Klux
serious.
Klan.
Oh my
the-
God, this is amazing.
Hey, Brown's. He came toward the end of it. His name was Brown Sugar.
What? It's amazing. Tell him I said thank you. Like for real, for real.
Will do.
Like
Will
I
do.
listen to X-Clan at least 2-3 times a day. It's just kind of the theme of my life. But if I just really need to just tell myself, calm down, Jackie, it ain't worth reacting in this way, then I'll listen to Today's a New Day by Kirk Franklin. That's my calm down. Remember, it's gonna be all right song.
How do you I love your website as well. That's where I got a lot of my.
I just redid it.
It's solid. You got some solid content on there. How do you balance all of that between journalism, podcasts, and then your own personal life? How do you balance everything?
Well, I don't have a personal life. That's probably part of the balancing, I guess. I work a lot. We think about, I've trained myself to say no more. Because I think that's something that I have struggled at, especially when it comes to community stuff. Like, I always want to be there to help and support my community. And so sometimes I have to just remind myself, if I want to continue to be there and help and support my community, sometimes no is the right answer, because sometimes I just need to back away from things. And then I've also given myself grace with my podcast because it was supposed to start January 15th. And I was like, you know what? I just need a little bit more of a break from it. So it's going to start next week. But just giving myself breaks and also trying to get ahead. That's the thing that I try to do with my podcast, because I'll try to get ahead and kind of do some evergreen stuff, like get 3 of those in the can. So when I just don't feel like doing it, I can throw it up. So I'll just try to take a day where I can get like a bunch of them done. And so I just try to plan my time right. One of the things that I definitely know I have to do more of is just relax and take time for self, because I know I don't do enough of that. So now I'm just like literally writing that into the calendar to make sure I do it.
Hey, so you all work, no play.
Work is I love what I do.
Well,
though.
work is play.
I
so.
love what I do. So it's like when somebody says, Jackie, I'm like, oh, like it's kind of like what most people would say for like, you got these tickets to this game, you want to go? Yeah. It's the same thing. Like I get really excited. Number one, that people trust me enough to tell their story. And when it's a good story that I can see it'll really help other people, or it might move the needle a bit, I get so excited about that. It's my happy place, but it's still work. And I have to remind myself of that. Like, I know you having fun right now, but this is still work. Oh.
Did you play ball? Like, I know you was a creator.
So I play basketball and volleyball. Volleyball is my better sport, though.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11".
Oh, okay.
5'11".
You like a dunk then, a little bit.
Did y'all freeze? Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay. So I'm 5'11". So I didn't really... Basketball was just kind of my keep in shape sport. Plus, it was really good for my anger management. I wanted to grow up and be Dennis Rodman kind of thing. But yeah, so basketball and volleyball. And then I ran track too. But volleyball was my sport.
Speaking of Dennis Rodman, you have like when it comes to like activists, like a celebrity activist or athlete, is there any one of them that inspire you?
I mean, everyone will tell you I'll say LeBron James because he's my favorite athlete of all time. And so I'm definitely going to agree with that. But even though I think LeBron is a great activist and he uses his platform in a very good way, I don't think it's the responsibility of athletes to be activists. So I try to give them a lot of grace if they say or do something that I feel like doesn't align with the activists that I think that there should, because that's not their job. Malcolm X said that, they keep pushing out these entertainers and these athletes and say, these are your leaders. No, they're not. They're our entertainers and we should let them be as such. And then we should lift up our leaders. So I love LeBron for his activism, but I can't say that there's anyone that an athlete specifically that I admire for their activism, if that makes sense.
Jim Brown? No.
Ooh!
No, it makes sense. It's like the black version of Shut Up and Dribble.
Yeah. Very much so. I just don't think
Like-
it's their job. I don't think that we should rely on that. I think we can follow their lead, and that's something that I think LeBron does very well. Like, he does very well at saying or doing something that gets the conversation started. And then I think that's when leaders are supposed to step up. But I don't think it's his job to.
So you think like maybe there's a lack of leaders there?
There's definitely a lack of leaders. That's why we look to entertainers and athletes, because we just don't have leaders in our community. It's a leadership desert.
Man, dry out here, huh?
It's dry out here in these streets.
Gotta get it soaked.
But
gotta figure something out.
if we had a Malcolm or Martin right now, do you think anybody would say LeBron is a leader? Or do you think that they would look at him kind of like, now we look at Muhammad Ali now as a leader, but at the time, Muhammad Ali was kind of he was a rebel, but we called Malcolm and Martin the leaders, you know?
Mm-hmm. But you don't think we have one though? Like, that's the thing. I see a lot of people doing a lot of work, including yourself. And a part of me, like, maybe we do have one, we just ain't listening.
That could very well be. And we're not giving them the shine and the flowers that they deserve right now. That could very well be.
But I just feel like we have a lot of people that's doing some amazing work. At least I see on the ground level, especially out here in Atlanta, Florida as well, in some places. But it don't get noticed, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. In Long Beach, we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people that are doing a lot of good work, but we also have a lot of people who kind of want to stay in the background and just do the work anonymously. I'm sure there's a level of safety in that as well, because you just don't want, you don't want all your work to be out there and maybe people will sabotage it. I'm not sure, but that's a great point, because we do have people that are doing the work, but they don't get the shine. Maybe that's what our athletes need to do, especially the ones highlight those people.
And you said something that made me think. Because I go to the food banks a lot, right? And one of the guys was like, "Hey, you should like take pictures and put it on your social." And I was like, "Nah, that's not like I'm not here for that."
Mm-mm.
Then he was like, "I understand that aspect of it," but he said, "But you never know like who might see that and what that may spark in them."
Trey
to come
just
out.
don't want to be caught with peasants. That's what he said. He don't like taking pictures with peasants.
Yeah, because I know how you feel about them. And I'm like, damn, man.
The same way though, there's a group that I get with every once in a while, and they'll make we'll get up early and we'll go buy food to make sandwiches, and we'll get feminine hygiene products and all that stuff, and we'll take it out to homeless people.
What kind of sandwiches? I want a sandwich.
Well, yeah, I make some good sandwiches too.
Oh, Nova only want that Popeye chicken sandwich with some Don Julio.
I'm getting a section. I'm going tomorrow and I'm flying to the NO and go get me a section of Popeye. You hear me?
Okay. I ain't mad at that Popeye chicken sandwich. That is a pretty good chicken sandwich. Now,
have you seen the Don Julio?
No. There's a
You
Don
missing out.
Julio chicken sandwich?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
You covering the wrong stories.
Yeah.
Clearly.
You didn't see that? We had a whole show about that. I was appalled. They released it on the first day of Black History Month.
Look,
Like,
that's smart.
it was wings. It's Don Julio wings, and it's Don Julio chicken sandwich with a mocktail drink.
That sounds fantastic. Look.
And I was like, if this ain't the most, and they only released it in select market, so it was like 3 days in Miami, and then it's for the whole Super Bowl week in New Orleans.
Oh, so maybe it's not out here. Maybe that's why.
Oh, no, they ain't gonna bring that out here. The last one been backed up. I was like, bro, they cold blooded.
Because I'm like,
the Mexicans
speaking
get deported, and it's Black History Month.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while for the slave train to get out to California.
Damn.
So they got the black for the chickens, and the tequila for the Mexicans. I say, boy, that thing cold blooded, dog.
My boy hit me up out in Florida. He's like, man, y'all was on to something, boy. These lines are like out through the roof. He's like, every time I drive,
I'm not gonna stand in line for a chicken sandwich though.
Don Julio, they had it was people posting like they had the little bottle girls coming over.
It's a motel though. It's not even real.
They had people coming over with the little signs.
Stop it right now.
I'm not lying. I'm dead serious. And they had the little sign. I was like, bro, people like they buying sections in Popeyes right now, dog. Only our people. I know they was making fun of it, but it's just it's hilarious though. We funny people, dog. We gonna have
have a good time.
Sometimes we joke too much though.
Sometimes.
Yeah. We gonna make fun of some serious stuff though.
Sometimes.
What's one? I know we got to wrap it up here soon. So, what's one podcast episode that you did that really like impacted you, like as a professional?
I think it was my very so the podcast used to be called At the Half. So I would do news at the front and the end. I would have commercial breaks in between, and then at the half, and I would talk about sports. But then I stopped doing that podcast when I started working at the Long Beach Post, because I was doing a podcast for them. And so part of my job was to kind of grow that podcast, make sure that podcast was successful. And I just I wanted my fan base to follow me over there. So, because that was my job. I didn't want to split the fan base. But when we got laid off, which is a whole big thing, all of us except for 3 people were laid off at the Long Beach Post. And then those 3 people went on strike. So effectively the whole newsroom was gone from the Long Beach Post. Yeah, it's tragic. So the first podcast that I did in light of the layoffs coming, the layoffs hadn't come yet, but we knew they were coming. I just was like, and everyone was like, Jackie, don't do the podcast because what if you don't get laid off? I'm like, listen, I couldn't stay at that point anyway if you fire all of my colleagues. That's just not how that would work for me. So the very first podcast that I did in lieu of that, I had to decide, okay, it's not going to be called At the Half anymore. My life is in a new direction. My thought process is kind of new. I was like, so what? So I sat here in this very apartment for a good 3 hours, just like writing down names, scratching them off, right? No, I want that. And then my best friend called me. She's like, what you doing? I was like, oh, I'm just trying to think of names for a show. She's like, think of names for the show? Why don't you just call it the Jackie Ray Show? I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking, but that's kind of vain. She's like, girl, bye. Call it the Jackie Ray Show. So got off the phone with her, and then it was like, okay, now let's talk about what am I going to talk about? And then I was like, nope, I'm just going to be honest and tell the world what happened to me specifically and the level of racism that I had to deal with while at the Long Beach Post. So that is the show that I'm most proud of the Jackie Ray Show, was just that. Because, when you either get laid off or a layoff is looming,
you got to be creative. You got
to just start thinking out the box.
It's the cream rise to the top when it ain't nothing else. The hustler come out. Either it's going to come out of you or you're going to fold.
Yep. And at that point, I mean, no, but that's exactly right. Because for me, it was just like, God had been telling me for a long time, just because of my career, I've had some sort of version of this. I've been laid off a lot. And some of that has been like, if I'm at a news station and then they see I'm covering sports for another outlet, they're like, why didn't you tell us? I'm like, because my contract says I can't do news for another outlet. I'm doing sports. This is different. They're like, yeah, but we don't want you to do both. And then it's been vice versa. I've been doing sports and they get upset when I do news. So the Long Beach Post was kind of my dream job, because they were like, we don't care what you do as long as it's not a Long Beach. Anything you do in Long Beach, we want that content. I was like, bet, this is perfect. So that was kind of my dream job in that, because I didn't have that conflict. But nonetheless, God had been telling me, like, when are you going to just start believing in yourself and start doing your own thing? I was like, nah, because I need health insurance, Lord. I can't do that. So
better go to that California marketplace.
Right.
Trying to get healed, boy.
Right, like, wait a minute.
You don't put your hands on me 3 times, Pastor. I still need help. What?
I'm still bitter about that. I try to be a good employer, and I try to pay my share for health care, but I just had to realize that
you weren't paying. No, you ain't get on people no help. You ain't get on people no help benefits. That's why they quit on you. That's why we're stealing donuts.
Yeah, all right, bro. Y'all,
like, boy, I gotta eat. That
$700
nigga
for health insurance per person?
Damn, is that what it is? As an employer, $700 per person? How many employees did you have?
I had 12.
He had illegals.
Damn. Did you say he had illegals?
And that was that was a good plan.
That's why he got that strong stance with immigration, boy. He had a couple of illegals in there.
You got a strong immigration stance?
No. My family immigrants, bro. I come from a family of immigrants.
I got boots on the ground out there. We doing some investigative work. We trying to figure out what happened at the donut shop.
That's hilarious.
Nah, I don't. Here's my thing about immigration, man. My family came over. I had illegals in my family. They got right. They end up getting right.
Hey, don't tell them right now, no.
No, they good now.
Okay.
They good. They good. The last one, anyway, the last one that wasn't my uncle passed away, but was my great uncle. But he's actually one that got everybody over here. But I gotta say, man, it's a process, man. And I don't want people to get upset, because we've always had an immigration policy, and it's always been enforced. I think it's just more televised and more brute force now. You know what I'm saying? It's in your face now. You know what I'm saying? So I do believe that the bad ones need to go because I believe in immigration, period. Honestly, I feel that it really shouldn't be a border between Canada, Mexico, Central America, South America. I feel like we're neighbors. Why can't we help each other out?
I agree.
And establish that free trade, the free borders where we go back and forth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're sending money like we built up our enemies. We sent all these factories over to China when we could have had these factories in Central, South America, and Mexico doing that type of work, and they wouldn't have to come over here because now their economy is powerful and it can sustain them. So, you know, people are coming over here for the right reasons. Some don't have money to do it the proper way, and it's a long process, so we have to respect that. But at the same time, the ones that are committing crimes, they got it.
If there is a illegal out there who happens to look like Aaron Pierre and you need someone to marry you for your status, I volunteer
who is Aaron Pierre?
as...
Who is Aaron Pierre?
You don't know who Mufasa is? Aaron Pierre, that's Mufasa.
Oh, y'all don't get a nigga a nickname and everything.
Pierre, no, that's his name. And he plays Mufasa.
I don't know who that is.
Look him up. I just want to see your face when you look him up.
Yeah, he
Hold
might get
on.
wet. No, go get soaked over there. What?
Isn't that dude that was riding that bike on that Netflix movie?
Do you know how many dudes, right? The bicycle? The bicycle?
Yeah, he was chasing on. They was like fake, like they was in Louisiana, and his brother got locked up in jail, and he was riding on the bike.
What's his name
the bus.
again?
Aaron Pierre. He's Mufasa.
Yeah, I think that's the dude,
Aaron
right?
Pierre.
He got the colored eyes.
Is that Rebel? You talking about Rebel?
Rebel Ridge.
Rebel. Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Is he gay?
No. I didn't say if he had. I don't know if he's gay or not. I have no idea, and I didn't mention nothing. I'm saying I'm not that one. A one that looks like him who is heterosexual and needs some assistance. Heterosexual single immigrants who need some assistance, who happen to look like Aaron Pierre. I am here for you. You can find me everywhere at Jackie Ray TV. Okay, I answer my DMs. I check my DMs daily. I am here for you.
Balloon. Do we got to do a pop the balloon for Jackie? We got to do a pop the balloon for Jackie.
Oh,
I hate that damn show.
I host it.
Jackie, would you do that? If we did a pop the balloon, would you do that? We got to get Jackie a suitable suitor.
Let me host it real quick. Boy, it'll be fine. I'll pick you out. She's
5'11", guys. You got kids?
No, and I don't want any, and that's usually a deal breaker for a lot of men.
No, hey, are you okay if he has kids?
Yes.
See, look,
especially if he wants them. Yeah, if he wants them, I prefer that he's already had them.
Bruh.
Okay. Oh, you got a whole gang of snip boys, huh?
She gonna shoot the babies in the trash. Be like, Cody.
I love kids. I am great with kids. I just have no desire to birth
so
them.
5'11" got her own. She got her own media company, guys. Own independent journalists.
Yeah, put the phone number up there so
well
they can call
connected. We about to get Jackie out. Jackie Ray TV. Y'all check her out. She's single.
Yeah, your DM's about to be booming. It happens.
I'm gonna let you know. You can't vote for Trump. You can't
vote for Trump.
She gave the list. So
that's
ain't no
everything
a la
in your
carte.
demographic, Nova.
What? It's ain't no a la carte. It's all or nothing. If you voted for him, you're done.
Yes.
So don't put the X on. If you didn't vote, you're done. Is they done too if they didn't vote?
No.
Okay.
And because I understand not really. I mean, I would hope they would vote locally because your local politics really affects you more quickly. So I would hope they vote locally. But if they didn't, I get it. You know, usually that's all or nothing for people. If they're either going to vote for everything or they're not going to vote at all. But this election was rough, so I get it. If you didn't vote in this election,
do you want college educated or work like a vast work experience?
You're really going on the checklist right now.
I'm trying.
Because I got. So I need a man who is financially stable, who can have intellectual conversations with me. I prefer him be at least 5'11" or taller. Have a great relationship with his family.
Weight? What is weight?
Just can't be overweight. I don't have a weight preference. He just can't be overweight.
What's overweight?
When he look in the mirror and go, I need to lose a few pounds. That's probably.
Okay.
Everybody look in the mirror like, yeah, I look good like this.
What if he wear good though?
Yeah.
Rick got some big dudes.
Like, Rick Ross does not wear well.
What about that Mizell dude? What's his name?
Mizell.
Never mind. Anyway.
I'm trying to think of a heavyset dude that wears well. I can't think.
Anyway.
Hey, Rick Ross the boss.
Okay.
That's what
do
they
you
say,
travel?
man.
You want somebody that travels?
Yeah.
I love to travel.
Okay.
I love
What's
to
your favorite
travel.
country?
I haven't been to my favorite country yet.
Which is?
Brazil.
Okay.
Ooh, they got
But I've been
heat up
to Korea. I've been to Japan, Canada.
Ooh, okay.
What part of Korea?
Where else have I been? One other place.
You been Thailand, Malaysia?
I haven't been to Thailand, but I am
Singapore?
supposed to go to Egypt next year. So we'll see.
I've been to Egypt. Watch out for the beggars.
Damn.
I live in
you're
downtown Long Beach. I feel like I got my practice in.
Nah, they know.
Oh, no.
They next level with it. They next level with it. They good.
Oh,
they
your
good.
face was great.
Do not touch. Just don't touch nothing. And like if they try to do like this and keep walking, don't let them zip up your zip up pocket.
Don't
so you
listen
can
to
zip up
Nova.
your
Nova got a strange like beef with like homeless people.
No, I that's for dog. I know you were home.
We get to the bottom of it. Before we get out of here, I want to ask you, or just say, like, what's because you're in a male-dominated field, and I was just thinking about when I was my daughter. She's trying to get into a male-dominated field, which is like film production, and one of the women had told her like, hey, it's gonna be hard, but you stick with it. It's a male-dominated field. X, Y, Z. So what's some words of encouragement you would give a young Black girl who are going to be, jumping in those waters?
I would say always be true to yourself. If something happens that you're uncomfortable with, say it in the moment. Try to figure out a way to say it where you feel comfortable, maybe even practice something in your head, but say it in the moment and never let it get out of hand. HR is not your friend. HR is there to protect the company, not you, if you're in one of those fields. So say it in the moment. And also, you might want to find allies, people you can talk to outside of work about anything that happens to you, like any sort of sexual harassment, just because sometimes, at least in my experience, even the women, if you kind of vent to them, you think you have an ally in the woman that's to your right or left, she's still trying to come up too. So it might be used against you. Not always, but I'm just saying it might be used against you. So don't be afraid to speak up for yourself and find a safe haven that people you can talk to outside of work.
We're going to have to bring you back because we kind of need a female voice on the show. We're going to have to bring you back for some guest spots on some topics.
Yeah,
because,
for sure.
we always giving the male, and I don't want to seem like we bashing or, because I'm not a female.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a female, so I can't get a point of view. And I think you have a very intelligent, insightful mind, and you're not shell.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say it.
You just throwing shots.
Do you mean like a shell, or you mean like a person named Shell?
Yeah, a person named. He throwing shots.
Aw, boo.
Yeah, he throwing shots.
Shots. Because I ain't gonna even get into it. You have to watch the show, man. It look.
Look, let me
it
write
made
this
Trey-
down. What episode was this that I need to go back
Which
and watch?
episode was it, Trey?
Y'all beat
Trey
on
had
all
to.
of them.
It was so bad. Trey had to sit down for 3 days.
Yeah, I took a mental health week.
No, I'm not
Doing
lying.
these
I'm not lying, Jake. It was
Damn.
that bad. He had to take 3 days off.
They was arguing about everything under the sun.
I don't argue. I
pumped the
discuss.
gas?
I discussed. No, I said this. Okay.
Okay, I was like, I'm fascinated. Now I need to know this gas conversation.
About the pump the gas. So
Okay.
I don't drive a gas car for a reason because
okay.
I don't like paying another car note worth of gas.
That's
so I
fair.
drive an electric vehicle. So
It's a
he was
Tesla,
like,
isn't it?
Oh yeah, he an Elon boy.
look,
Sorry, go ahead.
that's before all
I'm just giving you a hard
let me
time.
out. Let me
I'm
out.
just playing. I'm playing.
Yeah, let me out. Don't got to take. Let me out. But so my philosophy for one is if I'm with the woman, I'm driving, right? Sometimes I like to be the passenger king, but not all the time. I like to drive. So if it's my car, I'm gonna put my gas in it. If we pull up, and it depends on our relationship. If we dating, don't expect me to put gas in your car. I will pump the gas for you, but you're gonna pay for it. But if we're together and we're in a committed relationship, in a monogamous relationship, traditional relationship, I'm gonna pay for it, and I'm gonna pump it. You know what I'm saying? But if we're on a date, first of all, we're not gonna be in your car on a date. It's not gonna happen. I'm coming to pick you up, or we're gonna meet somewhere.
But the scenario
I
she wanted
don't
to
see
take
anything wrong with this so far. What happened? Where did things go awry?
The scenario was if we pull up and I get out to pump the gas and I ask for the card, that's like offensive. if I ask for the credit card, her
But
credit
this is
card.
a date. This isn't like y'all are
Yeah.
together.
Yeah,
And you're putting gas in her car,
yeah.
which she would have had to put gas in her car anyway.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm like, I was like this. What if I put gas in it and she go on a second date right after me?
Right.
Now I just done paid for her to get to the second date. Because I've had
See,
had
now we
girls
went from
insist.
serious date to not serious date.
No, I've had girls that we went on a date and they insisted on taking their car. And I seen what they was trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
They insisted on driving. And we got to the gas station. All of a sudden, I get in there. The first thing I look at, that's tank on E. All drinks on me, huh? And it was like, they roll right to the gas station. And I'm just like, here we go. I just look like.
Yeah, I think she should expect whatever happens in that situation to be okay. If you're the guy that says, I don't, because there are men like that. There are men that, girl, your tank is on E. Let's go to the gas station right now. You've known her for 15 minutes. There's guys like that. And if that's what he wants to do, that's what makes him feel comfortable as a man, so be it. But sis, you can't be driving around here with your tank on E. You're going to have to get gas anyway. So if y'all haven't established the I love you yet, that's the cutoff for me. If y'all ain't saying I love you yet, and he's like, all right, I'm going to pump your gas, give me your card, then give him your card and move on. Because what you going to do, roll away with an empty tank of gas? So I just think in that situation, because nothing has been established, whatever happens is the right answer.
And that's where I was at with it. But she took it straight to, she said she took it straight to 50-50. And then when they get to the 50-50 talk, it just went downhill.
Yeah. And then I told her about Tia Marrow getting back with her husband. And I was
happy about that.
When they broke up, we told Shell what was happening. I said, when a woman usually leaves a relationship, it's for several things, but she'll be vocal about what was wrong, especially if she was wrong in a relationship. So when she came out, she didn't blast Corey like that, as in the wrong place. We seen what she was doing. She came out and she was just all about herself, right? So we was like, knowing how relationship works, she felt that she was bigger than him.
That's how you saw that?
That's how I felt. Like the DMs was popping. She felt like the streets was calling, like she had action in the streets. And I told at the time, I said, it wasn't his fault, because one thing a woman gonna do is let you know that it's a man's fault. They're gonna write a song, a book, they're gonna do some posts, and she didn't have that. She had the post of, I'm finding myself, I'm jumping out there and seeing what I'm worth. Because it came out that basically she was getting a lot of work. He wasn't, and it's hard because she's the breadwinner. So it was hard in her household. And she felt like she was popping. And so she took a chance, and now they're back together. And I told her that. She was like, no, he probably did this. You don't know. I've been following him.
Jack, that ain't how you told it to Shell. So he gave you the sugar-coated version.
Because I couldn't get it out. She wouldn't let me get it out.
You told Shell that the woman stepped out to go get bent over on somebody's couch, and then Shell just went.
No,
she just saw red.
Said, hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. I said, now they getting back together. I said, she realized that it ain't nothing but men out there that just want to bend over the couch. All that action she was getting, all them DMs, they only want to pull up to bend you over the couch and leave. Ain't none of them
I
trying to
definitely will
sustain.
Agree. When they broke up, I felt like it was either a mutual breakup or it was her. Sometimes in a relationship, because my last relationship, he didn't do anything wrong to me, but it's just the treatment that I received from him wasn't what I wanted, and I just didn't feel like I was seen or heard in the relationship. I shall not. I don't do do-overs. I don't do that.
Even if you was wrong, you don't do do-overs?
You ain't never spin the block one time?
No,
Even
not
if you
for a
was
relationship. I've never been wrong in a breakup. And I'm gonna tell you, and I can say that confidently because when I don't get into relationships unless I'm ready to say I'm gonna ride this until the wheels fall off, right? So when I get into, so we might be in the dating phase for a long time. You might be like, no. But when I get into that relationship, then I'm committed to that relationship and I'm committed to making it work.
Can you see other people when you're in the dating phase? How many
That's
dates?
a great question because this comes up all the time. And I think it depends on, I can't. Like if I'm in the dating phase, I can't see anybody else because I'm incapable of. I don't like
or giving two people the same attention.
the same energy. One of y'all's gonna win. So
Yeah.
if I'm involved with somebody that I think I enjoy, even though I'm well within my right to see other people, and that's the conversation you have to have with the other person. I'm well within my right to see other people. You're well within your right to see other people. So how are you guys gonna navigate that? I just don't have the energy for that many people in my space, so I just can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of juices being rotated. You gotta like keep it.
Yeah, that's
I just
nasty.
need one pack at a time.
That's
you know what I'm
nasty.
saying?
I don't like none of that. But I mean, you can. I mean, if you're not committed to anybody, then you're not committed to anybody, and then that's just what it is.
Do you find it hard dating because of your profession?
I find it hard dating because I don't meet the type of person, because I would want to date somebody like long term, and since my last relationship, which was 2 years ago, almost 3 now, I just haven't met anyone that I would even entertain long term. So
Yeah. So when you say that,
we just going down this rabbit hole. Okay.
Yeah, we about to end.
I know we about to go, but since you say
well, this is bad
you
right
ain't
here, boy.
looking for long term, is it you just situationship?
I don't do situationships.
Okay. Is it like a friends with benefits?
I don't. So
What's the difference between them two?
yeah, those are the same things to me.
No, because a situationship, there's an illusion of there's something there. Friends with benefits is we cool, we go on trips, we do this, we get it in, but
so let me take that back. The last situation that I was in was a situationship, before my relationship, but that was a person that the conversation was we were working towards a relationship. So the conversation was definitely relationship bound, even though we weren't committed at that point. But that's also why that didn't work, because I'm not going to just be riding this trying to see roller coaster with you. You know what I mean? So that's why that didn't work. But for me now, like if I had to choose between a situationship and just being by myself, I'm gonna be by myself.
Keep that rose charged, ain't it?
Yeah.
Do what you got to do when you got to do it.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that.
I enjoy my own company and I enjoy peace, I just don't need nobody disturbing my peace.
Yeah, I'm happy by myself.
Mm-hmm.
I could do bad by myself. I don't need no help starving to death.
You got your rose too?
I do not have a rose.
No, I got
No.
eggs. I got eggs.
You got an egg?
Japanese eggs.
Well, I
Japanese
don't even want to
egg.
know what you do
I
with
don't
it. I
know
just
what
hope
that-
you keep.
I'll
just
send y'all a
sanitize
link
it
and show
Yeah.
y'all. Okay.
Okay.
I'll send y'all. I
Yeah,
got y'all. I'll show y'all
Don't
some
want no
eggs.
omelets at your house. All right, go. Well, Jackie, I think we don't ask you every question under the sun. It's been real. I want to go ahead and pass the cup. Some final thoughts.
Yeah. So pass the cup, Jackie. If you don't know, pass the cup is where you give a 2-minute unfiltered. You have up to 2 minutes unfiltered, uninterrupted take on whatever you want to talk about. So.
Okay.
Trey,
2
go
minutes.
first. Let Trey go first.
Okay, you go first,
No,
Trey.
I guess got to go
Because
first.
see, he be always trying to come. He try to outdo everybody and try to come with some old I'm bigger than everybody else type stuff. Like I've been to the mountaintop, down to the valley low. I scooped up
I
some.
see. He go into
you know what I'm
minister
saying?
mode. Yeah.
Yeah, he want to come with all that, man. Like
No, we just made up something out of. All right.
Yeah. Go ahead, watch this. Watch it.
No, I'm paying
Good.
close attention here.
Go ahead, Trey.
I would say, like, with everything we just said, I would say, as a collective, as a community, like we're not bound by our struggles of our past, but we got to be like empowered and just strength within each other, and find ways to get to that black excellence, what we know is in us, like no matter what the narrative is, and also like Nova might have a doggone MAGA hat and the Bible and everything else, but somewhere deep inside that little conservative heart is a strong black man, and we love him. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would just say that as far as our community goes, we are definitely stronger together. That history has taught us that. So if you're going to learn from history, just know that we are stronger together. If you happen to be a Trump supporter, just know that colonization has been our worst enemy, and you have now given way to one of the what's probably going to go down as the most criminal and yet greatest colonizers of all time. So I would just say,
The
make
goat
sure
colonizer.
the goat
Trey,
colonizer.
It's past the cup, bro.
Orange
Nah.
and funny talking as he may be, that is what he is. But network outward. Everybody's always trying to get up. Network outward. Look to your person to your right and to your left, and that can join this fight with you, and then you guys rise together. That's going to be the best way to do it in 2025 and beyond.
Okay. And for me, on my past cup,
Give us the
first of all,
white conservative preacher version.
I ain't no Trump
Give us the
supporter.
Joel Osteen pass the cup. Real quick.
So there we go. No, I feel my thing is tolerance, understanding, love, and we can't love unconditionally, but ensure that the conditions that you can love in is something that people can achieve. Value people's time, energy, space, and leave the unexpected expectations that you haven't spoken to people alone. Speak your expectations to people and live it. That's all I got.
Yeah, I like that. And you season it up a little bit. Well, that's all. That's all we have. We want to tell the people where they can find you, Jackie Ray?
You can find me everywhere at Jackie Ray TV, on all social media except for X. I have abandoned that ship. I'm on Blue Sky now. So you can find me.
I can't get no traction on Blue Sky.
Me neither.
Okay, well.
I'm about to follow you, though.
You couldn't get any traction on X when you first started, right? But now,
I'm not
over
even
time,
on X like that. I'm like, I don't even know how to operate X. I'm not going to even lie to you.
Yeah, you just operate XXX. That's why.
Oh, for the love of God. Anywho, JackieRayTV.com is my website if you want to read about anything I'm doing in Long Beach. Make sure you check out that for the WNBA season because it's going to be fire.
Can you give me an interview with Asia Wilson?
No.
I'll tell you what, Jackie, man.
Why I can't get an interview with her?
Yeah, she
Well,
don't like your kind.
Well, first of all, because I cover the LA Sparks, and so, but even though I have a relationship with the PR for the Las Vegas Aces, you got to earn the right to talk to Asia, and you're just not there yet.
We'll get you there. You know what I'm
We'll
saying?
get you there. It'll take some time. But just know you at the starting line, and now you know what the finish is, right? It's got some work to do.
She ain't put you outside the gate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got to
just can't
start
get
in
in.
line.
I'll tell you what, if y'all need some coffee for before the rally, we got some good coffee that we make, man. So if you want to amp up the rally before y'all get out there on them streets, teacuppodcast.com.
All right.
Some of the best coffee in the land. And overhand, flick the beans and get them straight to your door ASAP.
I love it. I appreciate y'all for having me.
Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for giving us your time and instilling some knowledge.
And you're welcome back, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Trey just been interrupting me all
Yeah,
day, bro.
I was about to say something crazy, but oh God.
But now, if I do it to him, he gonna call me and say, "Man, you interrupted me all night long, bro.
That's a
That's
good
messed up.
imitation.
Man, you ain't give me no time, man. Like, come on, bro."
Oh my God, y'all are
But
great.
nah, I really do appreciate you for stopping through, coming through, and chopping it up with us and giving us your energy and providing us your insight and outlook on life. Can I see the background a little bit? Can people show? I've been trying
That's
to
the
look at the
Jackie Ray
background.
Show logo.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
What's up above? There's neon light.
Yeah. So
You gotta show the people. Show the people.
you want me to take the logo down? So let me back the.
Yeah, back up something. There we go. We trying to see the drip. We want to see the drip. That's what I'm talking about. See?
Jackie Ray Show.
Take it all in.
Yeah.
Branding.
So y'all
So
can
check
check
her
that
out,
out
Jackie
next
Ray.
week.
Check out Jackie Ray TV. She has some great content, and like she said, she talked to all people. She's just not a sports analyst, a sports journalist. She's a journalist for everybody.
Yes.
She's a voice for everybody. So that's what I appreciate about you, really.
Thank you.
So with that said, like, share, subscribe, comment, tap in with us. You know how I go. This is our morning cup. Check us in with the daily cup, where we hope to have Miss Jackie Ray on there
All right.
as a panelist.
Yeah, you got to talk to these people live. They crazy.
They want it. It would have been. Well, we gotta prep you for that though, because it can.
I'm down for sure.
It's some good. It's some good. Like, when we want to bring her in, Trey, because I just need the woman take.
Whenever she's ready, I'm down for it. So it's up to Miss.
I'm gonna check out the
Jackie.
show, and then I'll let y'all know. Let me get through this week for sure. I got some things on my table that are.
That's that. Don't call me.
No.
I'll call you.
It's literally, I got 3 people that called me today that they just got some RFPs and they want to pay me a bunch of money and I need that money. So I got to get that done this week.
Okay, so you need any assistance to come help you? I got.
Y'all keep freezing on me.
I'm
What'd you
in the
say?
media world too. You know what I'm saying?
Say it again. Do I need any what?
Oh, that's your internet.
Oh, yeah.
You
Did
need
my
some
internet
help?
go? I haven't gotten the actual full scope of work yet, but today they just were like, hey, would you be able to write, 5 stories by Saturday? I'm like, hell nah. And then they were like, would you be able to write 5 stories by Saturday for this much money? And I was like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. So,
See,
yeah.
that's a Starlink, though. That's a Starlink messing up.
Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna holler at Elon, get you right.
Yeah, no doubt. But I really do appreciate you stopping through, man.
I appreciate
It
y'all
was good
too.
to chop
This
it
was
up
fun.
with someone of your stature, as always. And
Appreciate
I'm
you.
going to be watching your growth as you grow and make it to the big leagues. Don't forget
Golly,
about us,
man,
all right?
just shut the hell up before we can get up out of here, boy. You talk about me.
See?
See, this is why I cut your ass off, because you just
see
go
how you
on
do?
and on.
See, we got company he want to cut up.
I see it.
She's
All
a
right.
big dick.
It's going to, hey, I'm the editor. So if you see just me and you talking on the YouTube,
Oh, then I
just
know what
that
okay.
I cut out his piece. So, all right.
All right. Oh, I appreciate you though.
Much
All
love.
right.
Appreciate
All
you,
right.
Jackie.
See you later.